In the world of competitive fighting games, when a new DLC character comes out, there's usually one question people are begging to know the answer to. Just how strong are they? This poses a major problem to competitive players. Even if they are predicted to be strong, do you give up months, sometimes even years of experience with your current main to play them? Would you take that gamble in a tournament with 48 of the strongest players on the planet competing for $1 million? Well, at Capcom Cup XI, that's exactly what happened, as Xiaohai, the Esports World Cup champion, used Mai against JuicyJoe in the JP matchup to great success. So today I wanted to talk about what I think the thought process was for the pick, analyze some of the match, as well as discuss Mai's competitive future going into Season 3, because there were a couple other players who either used her or thought about using her in the tournament. So the biggest problem in this matchup is, JP's a zoner and Mai she has a pretty bad projectile, and to get the good projectile she has to charge it, but I think she has a couple ways of navigating the zoning. So if the JP player is like autopiloting his ghosts or the spikes, her drive rush can just go past the ghost and punish him for it. And the next thing is she has her level 1 fans, and so this will basically clear out all of his ghosts. Basically, he has to catch a spike, which is a pretty big commitment on JP's part. And another thing that is really useful in this matchup is, even though JP got his crouching heavy punch anti-air fixed, he still doesn't have a dragon punch, and Mai has a dive kick. It's not as good as like say Cammy's or Akuma's, but it's something more like Jury's. And if the JP player is just autopiloting his anti-air, you can kind of react to him anti-airing and then do the dive kick. Another weakness that JP has in this matchup is something that he has in a lot of matchups, and it's meaty fireball pressure. Mai has a lot of meaty fireball setups, and this is particularly good against OD Amnesia. It will beat Amnesia, it'll beat level 1. Also, this one's kind of cheesy, but I think it's kind of funny. I don't know why this works, but after a meaty jab, if the JP is not blocking, so if they were trying to say take their turn back because they have level 1 and they think you're not going to pressure them, then you can kind of blow through the bombs with this heavy target combo. It's kind of weird. I think this is like pretty impractical. I don't think it's gonna be that important in the matchup, but I just kind of find it interesting. Okay, now that we've talked about all the strengths that Mai has in the matchup, let's take a look at the actual match between Xiaohai and JuicyJoe. We're not gonna look at everything. I just want to highlight a few key interactions and talk about the matchup. So yeah, Xiaohai versus JuicyJoe. And so yeah, JuicyJoe is a very strong JP player. No slouch. They made it out of this group on winner side, made it to top 8 of this tournament. So yeah, spoiler alert. So yeah, as you can see, they already tried to do the dive kick, and Mai's fireball, as you can see, like, it's okay. It's very fast. It's very a good poke in the range that they're fighting in, but you'll see that like JP can just blow through it. Yeah, right there with a double with the EX ghost, and nice check. And Mai has her own EX fans, but it won't break his EX ghost because his EX ghost hits twice, and she can charge her EX fans in this matchup. You won't see it in this, but I tried it out. But if JP sees that, he's just hitting spikes, right? You're getting spiked out of that for free. But on the off chance that like he throws the EX ghost at the same time, she will win that interaction. So she does have it. I wouldn't say it's a big part of the matchup, but it is there. But yeah, the fan is fast as hell though. So like if you're like really close, like closer than that range that JP likes to be at, then it's kind of hard for him to stop. You know what I mean? And then yeah, see, this is another example. Like, JuicyJoe might not be prepared for this matchup. Like, he doesn't know that they can get trade combos there and stuff. I mean, he might, but like, it's just kind of hard to know like the risk reward on this kind of thing, right? And yeah, so Xiaohai actually loses this first game, and I'll remind you that the group stages is 1st to 2. So the commentators actually comment on this, like, okay, this is probably time for a switch. And Xiaohai has 2 very strong characters against JP, M Bison and Cammy. M Bison having EX Cycle Crusher, just blows through all the projectiles. Cammy dive kick, just gets it. H-Spin Uncle gets in through everything. But Xiaohai locks in Mai. This is like last chance. If he loses here, it's GG's. So yeah, he's still going with it. Harry, Portal, yeah, look at that drive rush. Just, people say it doesn't go far. I think it goes pretty far. But it caught the startup of his portal activation, and yeah, now she's got level 1. You're in a really bad time. Nice jump out though. That's a lock. Yeah. Yeah. He couldn't spike on reaction. Maybe if the Mai is charging, a JP could spike her. But if it's just thrown out, it's not that big of a deal. And there we go. That's what I was talking about. You can't just anti-her for free in this matchup. And he tried it again. So he went for parry this time. Which means next time if Xiaohai wants to jump, if JuicyJoe is reading the dive kick, he could do like empty jump throw if he's, or just do regular button. See, he did a button that time. That was an awkward angle. I don't know why he tried to DI. Maybe it was a misinput. But yeah, that's the power of having a dive kick in this matchup. It's like it opens up the air game, especially if you're trying to parry anti-air, perfect parry. Trying to get in. And yeah, that's the thing. You can't just throw fans and fireballs against JP. If you get a little too fireball hungry, you're gonna get spiked. Nice DP. Nice bait. Since it should be level 1. Yep. And then another thing is like it's kind of hard to know when to parry. Like look at all that drive damage they just took. Blocking all those charged fire or those enhanced fireballs. It's kind of hard to parry it. The rhythm is difficult, but Xiaohai, can you block this? Yeah, it's not good. I think that was a reset. Throwing into the corner. Just trying to survive. Yeah, this is looking not so great. But, chance, we're back. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that jump just completely whiffed. So Xiaohai, and he got the low. So Xiaohai takes it 1-1. All right, so it's starting to work out. Nice, checks it. That was a good perfect parry. Yeah, he couldn't really anti-air that. He was already committed to that ghost. That was a nice spike from JuicyJoe to check the forward movement. Yeah, this is where JP wants to be. Obviously, Xiaohai is just trying to get his drive gauge back. He's winning the drive gauge war now. Oh, see that OD fan? That was kind of interesting. He tried to get a sweep there. I don't know if you could actually combo that there, but it seems like he tried to. Yep, there we go again. It's just so hard to not want to like autopilot an anti-air, you know what I mean? Especially against a new character, you kind of like forget they have a dive kick sometimes. It's kind of weird. And look at this, dude. JuicyJoe's just been stuck. He's been stuck. How long has he been stuck here? He just can't get out. Yeah, he's trying to make something happen. Level 2, mutual, almost mutual burnout. Ooh, good hit. So yeah, now Xiaohai's at the back, on the back foot. Because JP, and yeah, you again just can't anti-air Mai. Just stop it. Just stop trying. It's really annoying. Dive kicks are really annoying in fighting games, or in Street Fighter at least. Oh yeah, there we go. See, you can't just autopilot your zoning too. Mai is one of those characters that just will jump in your face full screen from a drive rush, go right past the ghost. You know what I mean? Try to do an overhead and did not, and they recovered in time to beat a DI. It was very unfortunate for JuicyJoe. Sent him to level 3, put him near burnout. Probably left a bar left. Yeah, a little bit less than a bar. In the yellow, level 2 only available. So yeah, they can't level 1 through this. Yeah, this is fucked. This is GG's. I don't know what they could have done there. Not gonna lie, it seemed pretty bad. But yeah, that's JuicyJoe and Xiaohai. Congrats to Xiaohai for winning with Mai. Very awesome. And yeah, like I said, JuicyJoe's no slouch. They were top 8 of this tournament. But I think they were just caught surprised by the pick, you know. I'm sure they fought a ton of Mai's online, but did they fight a Mai of Xiaohai's caliber and Xiaohai's fundamentals? Probably not. Lastly, I wanted to talk about character choice here because Xiaohai has showcased that he has top level experience with 3 characters, namely M. Bison, Cammy, and Ken. The first 2 which have good matchups into JP because of things like EX Psycho Crusher and the dive kicks, and Ken is just Ken, so he's pretty good into JP as well. So why Mai? On top of the things we mentioned previously in the video, there's just like also that surprise factor, like sure, you had a month to fight a bunch of random Mai's, but are you prepared for the caliber of Xiaohai's Mai? I think Mai is a really strong character, even if you don't take into account her level 1 optimizations and stuff. I think the strengths of the character, the ease of the character, and the kind of surprise factor definitely helped Xiaohai out in this matchup. And on top of all the strengths that I mentioned in the JP matchup, I would have to imagine this probably took JuicyJoe by surprise, and Xiaohai was able to use this character to great effect on the group stage. On the flip side, we had another Mai player in the very same group, Nephew. In a recent video I predicted that Nephew would use Mai for NuckleDu and Kaba's Guile. Unfortunately, he lost because Nephew and Du are from the same region, so he expected the pick and prepared for it, and was ultimately able to outplay Nephew. Due to the results of this, I think he just went back to the jury for Kaba. So yeah, it's hard to say if Mai is actually good against Guile or not, but I did think the pick made sense. And I'd be kind of remiss to not actually talk about the matchup. NuckleDu was really prepared for the matchup. I think a big problem Mai will probably face is she doesn't really have good cancels, and let me explain why. Because her fans are actually unsafe on block unless you charge them. If you're like point blank. So yeah, that's -7. And that might be hard to space for some characters, or maybe not Ken, but check this out. Even from far away, Guile can just see the fan and flash kick right through it. And if I'm close, he can kind of do the same thing. So Guile has like a lot of ways to just blow through the fan. And if you're like watching out for the charged fan, you can actually just jump in reaction and hit Mai. Since they're in the same group, you might be wondering, what did Xiaohai use against these 2 Guiles? I believe he used M. Bison, which is a character who has a good matchup into Guile because of the EX Psycho Crusher, get around the zoning, and he's just been playing M. Bison for much longer, so he's probably much more comfortable in the matchup. So yeah, all in all, I think Mai has a decent, if not favored matchup into JP. I wish Xiaohai made it further into the bracket because not only did JuicyJoe make it into the top 8 with his JP, but also the winner of the tournament, Kakeru, used solo JP as well. Like, could you imagine seeing Mai, the new DLC character, in the grand finals of Capcom Cup? The controversy would be insane. Obviously what we got is way better. I think it's interesting that if a couple things went differently, we could have had a timeline where people were calling for Mai nerfs more than they already are. So to wrap this up, I just want to talk about the character's competitive future, and I'll just let the man of the hour himself answer.
So, what do you think of Mai in the game so far?
I think he's so strong. I think she can top 5, top 3. Good neutral game, good ES fireball. It's the different style in Street Fighter 6. I think so strong. So I choose her.
So yeah, Xiaohai thinks very, very highly of Mai, which is why he was confident in bringing her at least to the group stage. On top of his thoughts, we also have an interview from the champion himself, Kakeru. After he won, he told a story about how he got into an argument with his wife the night before top 16, in part due to not having bought his wedding ring yet. Most people who saw this, they know about this. I'm not sure if Ryan just didn't translate this part or it was a separate argument, but later on, HiFi posted this translation of an interview that basically says that Kakeru and his wife got into an argument because he wanted to play Mai in the tournament. If you don't know, Kakeru was frequently top 1 Mai when the character came out. And so apparently he thought the character was strong enough to consider playing her in Capcom Cup. Ultimately, his wife made the right decision by making him pick JP, but there is a very, very alternate timeline where he lost $1 million due to gooning. Alright, that's the end of the video. We got Elena and Shirley season 3 on the way because if you don't know, the next CPT season starts in May at EVO Japan. So I'm confident we're going to get plenty more Mai's coming in the next season. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you think Mai's OP? Do you think this was a fluke? Do you think people are just kind of jumping the gun on her? I'm going to be honest, I think she's going to terrorize the next season. She's going to be a problem unless she gets changed in some way. But she's so new, I can only imagine she only gets a little bit of quality of life changes. If you made it this far into the video, thanks for watching. It's my goal to hit 10,000 subs by the end of this year, so if you like what you see, give me a sub and a like, please. It really helps. I've got a couple more videos like this covering Capcom Cup matches in the pipeline, so until then, see you next time.